Hello and welcome back. Are you ready for lesson 19? I know I am. Let's get started. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. So this is expanding upon yesterday's lesson. The idea for today is obviously the reason why your seeing does not affect you alone. You will notice that at times the ideas related to thinking precede those related to perceiving, while at other times the order is reversed. The reason is that the order does not matter. Thinking and its results are really simultaneous, for cause and effect are never separate. So this is interesting because I think oftentimes we believe that our thoughts result in our perception. So the Course is saying it doesn't really matter which thing you change. Both things need to be changed, your thoughts and your perception, what you're seeing. Of course, if you can harness your thoughts, you'll probably be harnessing your perception as well. So whichever one feels more comfortable or more natural for you, that would be the one that I would start with. Back to the text. Today we are again emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first, since it seems to carry with it an enormous sense of responsibility, and may even be regarded as an invasion of privacy. Yet it is a fact that there are no private thoughts. Despite your initial resistance to this idea, you will yet understand that it must be true if salvation is possible at all. And salvation must be possible because it is the will of God. This is a pretty big paragraph, so I'm going to go through it little by little. The first sentence, we are emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. It may seem strange to think that we are all connected and we are all one. Some of you may already believe that, and that's great. You're a leg up on those of us who had trouble seeing that at first. But have you ever heard about that thing that happens when inventions are made simultaneously across the world, especially long before the internet, and there's a dispute as to who came up with that first or came up with the theory of whatever first? Or if you've had a moment where you have an idea and someone in the room has the exact same idea at the exact same time. It's not just coincidence. It's that we are all energy and our energy is all connected. So our thoughts are affecting others. It's pretty obvious that that's true when those people are directly in front of us or part of our family, because then it affects how we treat them or what we say to them. But beyond that, we are all energy. Energy is just vibrations. We are all vibrations. The science behind it is real. We have energy within us. What happens when a person dies and goes into cardiac arrest? They use a defibrillator. What's a defibrillator? It's an electric shock. We electrocute our bodies to bring us back, which is only further evidence that we are energy. And what is energy? Well, it's vibration. It's that simple. Our vibrations are connected to not just other humans, but all living things, because all living things have vibrations within them, have energy within them, life within them. Okay, let's keep going. This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first, since it seems to carry with it an enormous sense of responsibility. I think we talked about this yesterday, where the thoughts that we have affect others, and for some people that may feel scary because they don't want to have that kind of responsibility as to affecting other people's lives. But here's the thing, you have it whether you want it or not. So you can either choose to take control of that and say, okay, if my thoughts affect others, whether I like it or not, what thoughts do I want to be having? What kind of vibration and energy do I want to be putting out into the universe? It may seem easier to just be passive and not worry about all of this, and I get that. I was there for a long time. Even after finding the Course, I went through a period where I was like, I just don't want to deal with this right now. You know what? You have to do what's best for you at the moment. The thing is, no matter what, our thoughts do affect others. And when you can come to understand and appreciate that you actually have control over things beyond what it appears, then maybe not only can you embrace it, but start to have fun with it and start to choose happy, loving thoughts and see how your life changes. It will. It's a law as much as gravity is a law. It is what happens. Okay, let's keep going. And may even be regarded as an invasion of privacy, yet it is a fact that there are no private thoughts. So this part is interesting because it's not saying there are no private thoughts in the sense that the person sitting next to me knows exactly what I'm thinking and will go tell somebody else, or that the whole world knows what I'm thinking. It's not so much that. My higher self is telling me that it's more about the energy of that thought, and that you can't have a negative thought in a vacuum. We are not in a vacuum. We are not in a place where we have no effect on anyone but ourselves. Your thoughts are private in the sense that that they don't know exactly what you're thinking, and it's not that kind of thing. It's more of the energy of your thought is shared amongst the entire universe. And so to think, well, it doesn't matter if I think this unforgiving thought about my ex, because what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt anybody. Well, it does. I mean, it hurts you, for one thing, holding on to unforgiveness, but it also hurts the whole universe of energy in having that low vibration being put out there. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. Despite your initial resistance to this idea, you will yet understand that it must be true if salvation is possible, and salvation must be possible because it is the will of God. So remember, salvation is just the idea of being saved, okay? And what does it mean to be saved? Well, for me, this book has saved me because it has changed my life and helped me take control of my thoughts and my feelings. It's less of like that whole church idea of if you believe in Jesus, you're saved. It's more of when you acknowledge, realize, understand, accept what your thoughts have, how much influence your thoughts have on you and those around you. As you begin to change those thoughts, your life will turn around. Okay, so the minute or so of mind searching which today's exercises require is to be undertaken with eyes closed. The idea for today is to be repeated first, and then the mind should be carefully searched for the thoughts it contains at that time. If you consider each one, name it in terms of the central person or theme it contains, and holding it in your mind as you do so, say, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about blank. The requirement of as much indiscriminateness, if that's how you say that word, as possible in selecting subjects for the practice periods should be quite familiar to you by now, and will no longer be repeated each day, although it will occasionally be included as a reminder. Do not forget, however, that random selection of subjects for all practice periods remains essential throughout. Lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack in order in miracles meaningful to you. We humans like to believe that some things are harder than others, some things are bigger than others, and so some miracles must be harder or bigger or easier or smaller than others. But the Course says that's not true. All miracles are the same. And remember, a miracle is just changing your thinking, choosing forgiveness, that kind of thing. So in choosing to forgive somebody for cutting you off while you're driving versus somebody who steals from you, the Course says that unforgiveness that's within you and choosing to forgive and let go is of equal weight and importance. No matter the form that we see that unforgiveness take, the content is unforgiveness, and unforgiveness is unforgiveness no matter how big or how small. Any time we're hanging on to that, it is keeping us away from peace. There's no order by size or by difficulty or by when it happened in time, because time is not really real anyway. So, yeah. Okay. Apart from the as-needed application of today's idea, at least 3 practice periods are required, shortening the length of time involved if necessary. Do not attempt more than 4. Alright, so I hope that you have a great time doing this lesson, experiencing what the words are trying to teach you. Something I'm learning as I go through the course is it is important to read the course, it is important to do the lessons, but understanding comes from experience. So sitting and meditating exactly the way the Course says to, okay, fine, that's great. But what you really want to make sure is happening is that you're starting to experience what the Course is trying to help you experience. In experience, that's where the lessons are learned. In application of the ideas, that's where the lessons are learned. So throughout the day, if you can apply this idea, maybe the first step would be just to realize and recognize, okay, I just had a thought that maybe was not going to help me or help the person I'm thinking about or the thing I'm thinking about. And just acknowledging it, saying, okay, I'm aware of my thoughts, I'm becoming more aware of my thoughts. Because until you have awareness, you can't do anything about it anyway. So don't add to the things you need to forgive by feeling guilty for having these thoughts. Don't let guilt enter the equation. Simply become aware that you are not alone in experiencing the effects of your thoughts. That's it, okay? So I hope you have a fantastic day. I'd love to hear what kinds of experiences you guys are having. Again, feel free to drop a comment or send me an email, and I'll see you tomorrow for Lesson 20. Take care.